welcome everybody. I am Gina and I am the founder of GOFitness Virtual. Today we are going to do the Silver Sinker Stability class. 30 minutes goes by really quickly. I always like to warm you up before we get going, and that is just to make sure that your body just responds better when it's warmed up. Yes, it is. I saw something on Facebook the other day. Hello, Marcia. And it had, do you guys remember in the 70s and 80s, those alarm clocks? We all had them, the brown with the black, and you know, they had the digital readout. They were like the coolest thing ever. And they were like, the caption was, if you know what this is, you need a longer warm up before you work out. I died laughing. I was like, that truth right there, truth right there. So I'm pretty sure that we all fall in that category, myself included. So we're gonna get a warm up and then we're gonna get started working our balance. So again, we're working posture, we're working core muscles, we're working our legs all the way down, and really, we're really working our brain too, right? Because we have to figure out where our body is in space. I was talking about, that's called proprioception, where your body is in space. And that's a big deal. Sometimes we don't know where our body is in space. You might be one of those people. I train a couple that are hilarious, and they joke about how they have no idea what's happening most of the time. So some of you might be those people. But I've worked with them for a really long time, and they just make me chuckle every time we start in with balance. So we're gonna work today. I want your chair out. Partly, if you need to go on one side, you can hold on to that chair if we're doing kick moves. I don't want you to kick the back of the chair, but most of the time you're probably just fine standing right behind the chair. Obviously you can't see my legs, so I'm moving mine out of the way so you can. Okay, we're gonna start with our feet together. And hi, Carol. We're just gonna take a step out to the side, take one arm out, bring it back in. And the leg steps out and bring that arm, take it out to that same side. Just kind of flow that wrist. So we're just trying to wake up those legs. Now we're going to take a diagonal and back, diagonal and back. Now, if you did the last class, you probably stayed fairly warm in between, but you never know. Sometimes your body can cool off, and if your air conditioning is pumping, you might have cooled off a little bit. I was kind of moving around, so. Good, now in front, reach out, whatever foot's stepping forward, you're gonna reach out with that same arm. Nice. Now both arms are coming up as you're stepping back. Reach, then bring those feet together. Step back just enough to catch yourself. Okay, I'm just trying to simulate what happens. So the warm-up is always kind of simulating other exercises that we're going to do throughout the workout. And it still trains your brain to catch your body. If you happen to lose that balance, you're stepping back, catching yourself, and pulling it back to center. And now go ahead and step out a little wider with those feet. We're going to take the hands and we're just going to move them kind of a figure 8. One side, then the other. So just bend that knee where the hands are going toward that side. That knee bends. Pull it back around. Nice. And now go ahead and take those arms out and press them back. So you're getting a little stretch across the chest as you're pressing those hands back. And we're just gonna take a little pulse with the legs. That's how we warm it all up. Now we're gonna go back to the side to side. Back to the side to side, because that helps with that balance and it's strengthening one leg at a time. Now take your hands up so they're facing me, kind of in the front of the shoulders. You want to keep them down the whole time and just lean in toward that side, almost like you're taking the elbow closer toward the thigh. That is great. I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to reach up. So I'm trying to still get the stretch around my ribs. Good, adjust. I'm moving in my shoes. Do you ever do that? Nice stretch, reaching toward that ceiling. And take it down. Now, gonna walk the feet in. I'm gonna have you walk forward and back. We're gonna work on balance. We're gonna pretend like we're on the balance beam. One foot in front of the other. Now, I usually tell you if you have like a wall that doesn't have pictures and stuff on it, this is just a poster so I can hold on to it, but I can take one foot in front of the other so that heel touches the toe. Good. And I can hold on, or I can do it without holding on. And then take it backwards. Same thing, that foot that comes back, the toe is right against the heel. Oh, running out of room. I'm gonna go forward and back now. So for some of you, you don't need to hold on, that's okay. You're gonna take one foot in front, hands on your waist or your hips. You want to take the arms out. Sometimes that helps people balance to take the arms out. And take it back. One foot, then the other. Hello, Donna. Carol, I think I said hi, but I can't remember for sure. Last time, forward and back. This time, think about intentionally swinging that leg out and take it a little slower. Nice, so strengthen those hips is super important. All right, now we're gonna take it back. I'm gonna take my hands to my waist because my shoulders are getting tired. And I'm back in the corner again. Now I'm going to step forward just a little bit more. With my feet out wider, this time I'm going to have you come up onto your toe. Okay, so you're just touching that toe, shifting that body weight. This is still balanced because you're mostly on one leg. Now if you can lift that toe, just point it toward the toes, toward the floor, but you're shifting body weight and holding yourself. Good. It's amazing how much harder it is sometimes when we slow things down and we have to work on balance. When we're going faster, like a cardio circuit class, sometimes you don't even notice your imbalances because you can take over with that dominant side. But slowing things down, you realize, oh, there is definitely a dominant side. And rest. Feel those in the outside of the hips? Yeah. I really feel that, and it's so good when our hips are strong. They are kind of that focal point, the core muscles and the hips, and really they help with balance so much. If you can throw those shoulders back and really work on your posture being kind of one straight line, very critical, because the more that you lean forward, round forward, this, right? We're naturally throwing our body off. So we have to be thinking about that all the time. One of my gentlemen at the retirement home, he likes to lean on his walker and walk. I'm like, so we've had a few talks, and now he's up a little taller, so that's good. Now we're going to work on, it's really like a one-leg deadlift is kind of, or some people call it the scale. There's so many different names for the same move. But again, it is balance. Now I'm behind, my imaginary chair is out in front of me. Going to take a step forward, reach my arms out and lift that back leg. And switch. So the knee that I'm balancing on that leg, that knee is bent. Might not look like it from the angle that you have, but it is slightly bent. Good, and down, and step, and reach, and down. Just do what you can. I like to call it's kind of like a Superman. Those people do on their knees. That is an exercise, believe it or not. We're just doing it standing. Challenging the balance a little more. It challenges balance when you do it on your knees too, believe me. It's a great core exercise. And down. It works all the way down the back muscles, those lat muscles. Good. And step and reach. And down. And step and reach. Down. Let's take one more. Step and reach. Okay. So we're going to take, our next move is a balance move, but I want you to kind of move your arms and legs to kind of different places. You'll catch on. Okay, we're going to take our arms out to the side, but the legs are going to come back at a diagonal, and then they're going to come forward. And see how my toe's up, but it's going toward this diagonal. So back out and up. We haven't done this one. Out. And I'm taking my arms back just a little bit when they're coming back. And they're at a little bit of a diagonal. Hard to do. Hold on if you need to. And rest. And you can always, again, be on that side where you're holding onto one hand and just moving. Whatever the leg is that's moving, that's fine. Okay, so balance. So we're going to do that same thing. So remember, when the leg goes out, it's going at a diagonal. Back. So that'll work this big muscle in our glute. We want that glute med to really work hard. Okay, so arms are back. And then we're going to take it up. Back, and up at that diagonal, back at the diagonal, up at that diagonal. Do you feel that in your thigh? I really do on this side, more so than the other leg. But it's my weaker of the two, so back, and diagonal up. One more time, diagonal back. And diagonal up. And rest it. Those are tough. They are, but I want you to think about when you're doing those, you're really controlling a ton with your core. And I'm trying to keep that posture. That's part of the reason why we're reaching back, is it stretches out the chest. And when people's posture starts rounding, it's because these chest muscles are weak and the back gets overstretched. Body goes forward, and now your balance is all off. So those shoulders back, like your mama told you when you were little, it's a real deal. With our feet together, we're going to take a step over to one side, okay? And this time, but the arm is going to go forward. So we're gonna lunge over to one side and push your butt back, but the arm comes forward, and then we're gonna push off and come back to center. Other side, drop that hand down, and then push back to center. So you have to, this is a bit of a power move with these thigh muscles. We want you to catch your body, push it back up. Okay, so reach out and push back up, and reach out and push back up, and reach, and back up, and reach, back up, and reach, back up, reach, and up. Beautiful. Keep it going. Push that butt back so you're powering with the legs. And those gluteal muscles, that back side, we want that nice and strong. Good. Reach. I have people tell me all the time that theirs isn't very strong, and I'm like, well, it's holding you up, so let's keep working it, make it stronger. Can continue to hold you up. Let's go one more time each side. And rest. We're balancing on one leg, and we're gonna move the arms around a little bit. You know how I don't like to just completely just stand still the whole time. I like to move things, and the reason I do is because that's what happens in your life. Very seldom are you standing still. So we're gonna balance on one leg, but I'm gonna have you move your arms. So you can start by touching one cheek and the other arm down. Okay, I'm going to one leg, and then rotate. If you can take it up higher with the arms and get that windmill effect. Feel how that has to work. Is your foot and ankle? Yeah, you might have even stepped out of that balance right now. Find something to focus on. I'm moving, so I'm not perfect to keep an eye on. And rest. It's tough. It is tough because you're constantly changing by windmilling those arms. There's all sorts of different positions you have to balance in. So if your foot was just wiggling like crazy in your shoe, or if you don't have shoes on, then just make sure, I just don't want you to slide. But it does work your foot really well when you don't have shoes on too. So, okay, now we're going to the other side. Here we go, one hand to the cheek, and switch. Keep it low, you're still moving with that one leg, so it's still working. I'm gonna go up a little higher with my windmilly arms, and now I'm gonna stretch them up. Nice work. And rest. You guys might have had to come out of it soon. I almost tipped over that time. I almost did. It came close. So that was some work on one leg, working that balance. We're gonna go back up into these bigger hip muscles and core muscles when we do our stepping over the fence. This is what I see in my head every time I do this exercise. So I want you to think about stepping over something. I do it a lot outside when I'm gardening. I've left something on the ground and I'm picking up and I'm stepping over that, and then I'm following with the other leg. Okay, so first thing to think about is lifting the knee as high as it feels comfortable to you. So we're gonna lift up, and then it's like you're stepping over. I think of those little rabbit fences every time I do this, that I step over, okay? Now, with this too, though, you have to watch your toes. You want to lift your toes. Naturally, you're going to want to hang your toes down because it's easier, right? But what we don't think about is that toe can catch, even if we got the knee high enough, but if that ankle doesn't lift the toe, we've got a whole nother issue. We're still going down. And if you're on one leg and you've thrown your balance off, you're naturally going to reach out with your arm or land on that hip. So we don't want that. So just lift the knee, lift your toe over, and then take it back. Just always think of lifting the toe too. And just strengthening by practicing lifting that toe, it helps you with your gait. Helps you, the gait is not the little thing that we're climbing over here, but it's the way you walk. If that ankle is not strong and you are not picking up your toes as you walk, you will tend to trip over those little things in the sidewalk. And I know sometimes it comes out of nowhere, I get it. But the more that you practice, the better it's gonna be. Lift, out, bring it back in. You still picking up that toe? And rest. Okay, if you were really picking it up, you probably felt it around the back of the hips too. We're trying to make all of that much stronger. When we balance this time, instead of moving the arms, we're gonna actually move the other leg. So we're balancing one leg. The other knee lifts up, and you're gonna take it out and in, lifting that toe also. Out and in, 4 times. And then we're gonna set that foot down. Now we're gonna balance, lifting the other foot, flexing the toes, up, out, and in. And down. So we're trying to get that inner and outer part of your hip. You might feel it a little bit more in the groin as you're doing this one. When we're moving back and forth, sometimes I feel it more on the outside. Might be different for you. Here we go, back to that first side. Flex that foot, out and in. And take it down, and then let's switch. Lift up, out, and in. And rest it down. One more time each side. So that's 4 times each side, I should say. See how I'm trying to pick that knee up. Even getting in that position is going to be challenging for some of you. Lift up. Would have been hard for me before my hip replacement. And down. Okay, with our feet a little more than hip distance apart, we're going to work into those feet also, so shoulders back. Coming into a squat, just nice and slow. And then as we come up, we're going to come up on those toes. Sit the heels down, sit back into the squat, and then come up and on the toes. And down, and up, and down, and up, and down, and up, down, and up. Let's go one more time, down, and up onto those toes. Balancing on one leg. The foot is going to flex. The foot that's out is going to point and then flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. We are using the calf and shin muscles. My shoulders are back. I'm elongating as much as possible as I point and flex. And then switch to the other side. Here we go. Point and flex. And rest down.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for the short sample of one of my GOFitness Virtual fitness classes. I'm Gina Ogren, the founder of GOFitnessVirtual.com.
And I'm John Ogren, Gina's husband and sidekick. If you like this sample of Gina's class, we hope you'll visit us at GOFitnessVirtual.com, where we have over 800 recorded fitness classes designed for active older adults.
We also have live classes almost every day.
That's right. Just go to GoFitnessVirtual.com and click the Get Started button to learn about becoming a member.
And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hope to see you in class.
You should always consult with your physician before engaging in any physical activity program. By participating in this online exercise class, you assume all dangers, hazards, and risks of such participation. The exercise demonstrated by the instructors in this online class are physically demanding. If you are unable to safely perform these exercises, please modify them for your own safety or choose a different set of exercises. Remember, it's your body and your responsibility. If you like this lesson, come visit us at GoFitnessVirtual.com.